Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Viva ENT. This is Johnny the Copper. We're live on the air in Everett, Washington at the Xfinity Arena, and we're at the Wedding Expo. We're open today from 10 a.m. till 4 p.m. and tomorrow from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. Lots of vendors here, brides and grooms, moms and dads who are paying for weddings. Come on down because this is the place to be. You're going to get the good deals here. Viva Productions, my company with wedding DJ, wedding photography, limousine service. We're here. I also have Jill Most Photography. Is that the name of your company, Jill? Say hi.
Hey, guys. It's actually J Most Photography.
Okay, so say it again.
J Most.
Oh, J Most. I like J Most. It's kind of, it's ringy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, very ringy. So anyway, J Most, you're going to be here today. Tomorrow you're going to be at the Bellevue show next week too, correct?
I will be. I've been at all 3 shows that the Brides Club has put on.
Excellent. That's what we want to talk about. Now, as far as photography goes, tell our listeners what you do, the basic price range of your packages if you can, if you're comfortable with that.
Okay, so what I do, I am a full-time wedding photographer.
I like it.
Specialize just in weddings.
I like it.
I trained at the Art Institute, but photography's been my passion for the last 10 years. I finally just decided to stay here in downtown Seattle and have just kind of gone with it. I love weddings. I love the brides and grooms that come to these shows and just everything I do in general. So, yeah.
Good. Now that sounds like, a lot of people don't get the opportunity or the chance to follow their dream and their passion.
No, I actually have a super supportive husband, and I've been able and capable of, pursuing what I wanted to do, and I'm grateful for it, absolutely. But I kind of chose this career path only because I have 3 children. I mean, I love being at home. I love taking care of my family, but at the same time, I love being independent and an actual artist. And weddings is my thing. I never thought, if you asked me 10 years ago if I'm shooting weddings, I would have laughed at you and said that's not going to happen. But here I am, 10 years later, and I am shooting weddings pretty much every weekend. And
every weekend, yeah, that's pretty good. If you're booked every weekend, you are quite successful.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. And your website is?
It's www.jmosphotography.com. You can also find me on Facebook. I do a lot of blogs with the different local vendors and such things like that.
Cool. And so basically you're going to be here all day. I'm going to let you get back to your booth because brides and grooms are starting to storm in here.
Yay! I know. I'm excited. It's so much fun, you guys. If you guys are out there listening, you have to come to these shows. I cannot, emphasize that enough. It's something you can do with your family, your friends. Bridesmaids love coming here because you get to taste cake and just see different shows. It's absolutely fun.
And ladies and gentlemen, J Most is not hard to look at, I'll tell you. So anyway, thanks for being on Viva ENT.
Thank you.
And I'll send this link to you on Facebook so you can hear it, just for kicks. Hey everybody, this is Viva ENT. I got Megan from Semiahmoo Resort, which I've been to many times. I've DJ'd up there. I've done casino parties up there. It's a great, great resort. It's got a spa. And Leo, my star photographer, is going to interview you.
Sounds good.
Matter of fact, you've been there right now?
Yes, I have. I've been there quite a few times, photographed. It's a terrific, terrific spot. Megan, why don't you fill me in? I have not been there since the remodel.
Yes, we've completed a remodel about a year ago. Everything is brand new, the guest rooms, the meeting space. We have a new wedding tent. The restaurants are renovated. Everything is brand new, and it's the new Semiahmoo.
Wow, wow. So Semiahmoo is a destination venue for not only for golfers, a wedding, but you have conventions and such there, meetings like that?
We do. We have 35,000 square feet of event space. We have 35,000 at our resort. We have another 4,000 up at the Semiahmoo Golf and Country Club and another 6,000 up at the Loomis Trail Golf and Country Club.
That's a lot of square feet.
It is.
On the occasions that we've been up there, not to work, it's also a nature center. We see great heron, eagles, all kinds of wildlife up there.
Yes, there is an amazing amount of wildlife. We actually have an event that happens every year in the early spring called Wings Over Water, where people travel from all over the United States to come and check out all of the amazing birds that we have at Semiahmoo.
Wow. Can you tell us about a little bit of the view? I understand, if I recall, you can see Canada from the rooms.
Yes, you can. You can see the Canadian border and White Rock from our restaurants and from our pier.
Mm-hmm. And what is the time-wise to drive, say, from central Seattle, from middle Seattle?
From Seattle, it's about an hour and a half to 2 hours, depending on traffic. It's a straight shot. There's no mountain passes. You just get on I-5 and shoot right up.
One nice thing about it we found, we visit Canada a lot for nature viewing and such, and it's a great stopover to Canada because it's quite close to Canada.
It is. It's a great place to stop and have a great bite to eat and enjoy a wonderful view and get a wonderful night's sleep before you head on up to Canada.
Absolutely. And I can recommend the food there. Outstanding.
Yes, we have an amazing chef. His name is Chef Bruno, and he comes to us from the Four Seasons in Vancouver, Canada, and we are very blessed to have him. Amazing food.
I also, as I recall, there are some health benefits there. Isn't there a pool, tennis courts, and...
Yes, we have a full-service spa, an indoor tennis court, an outdoor tennis court, racquetball, full pool, hot tub, steam room, sauna. Very nice facility.
Now, the recognizable landmark for Semiahmoo is the water tower. Can you tell me about that?
So Semiahmoo was originally a cannery, and the water tower is the last remaining piece from that cannery on the spit.
And are you associated with some of the rentals that are right there on the water?
We are not. The resort is not associated with them.
But you can rent kayaks and such right there?
Yes, we have an activity center that was new this summer, and you can rent kayaks, paddleboards, bikes. We do guided bird watching tours, self-guided bird watching tours. There's all kinds of amazing activities to do.
Megan, sign me up. That sounds like fun.
Well, we're looking forward to seeing you.
All right, let's see what else we can talk about up there. My wife and I have personally stayed in some of the rooms there. Wonderful view out to the water. And of course, right next to that is Blaine.
Yes.
Yep. And it is also close to an international airport.
Yep, Bellingham has an international airport, so you can fly in from just about anywhere. And of course, there's connecting flights in Vancouver or Seattle. And then we do have a shuttle where we will pick you up from the Bellingham airport.
So those of you with your Learjets, you have a place to park it and come up and visit.
Absolutely. You can also partner with we partner with...
with an airline.
Yes, with an airline. I'm sorry, the name escapes me right now. That has pontoon boat planes that will come up, and you can land right on our beach.
Would it be Kenmore Air by
It
chance?
is Kenmore Air, thank you.
Yes. And they may be hopscotching on their way up to the San Juan Islands or else to Canada. Don't they deliver mail up there or something? Don't they deliver mail up there at the Kenmore Airlines?
I'm not sure about that. I don't know.
I thought maybe they used 2 years ago. Let's see. Terrific views, great food, plenty of health opportunities, wildlife galore. What's stopping you from visit Semiahmoo?
Shouldn't be anything coming
That's
up to Washington Seaside Retreat.
And come on up there and have your wedding.
That's right.
All right. Here's Johnny.
So did you give all the information, website, Facebook, the whole 9 yards?
Well, you can go to www.semiahmoo, that's SEMIAHMOO.com, and check us out. We're here promoting our weddings. We have a wedding tent on our back pier with which you can have a seaside wedding. So please check out the website and give us a call.
Wedding by the seashore with the seashells.
That's right.
Thanks for being on the show, Megan.
Thank you for having me.
Pleasure. Thank you very much.
Hi, this is Leo from Viva Entertainment talking to Brandon from New York Life.
Yes, that's right.
Can you tell me, as a complete unknown about the whole thing, what it's about?
Absolutely. New York Life, mainly it's all about protection. Life insurance is the big one, but we also focus on other things such as retirement, long-term care, legacy planning, but the biggest one, my favorite, is retirement, more than anything.
And someone my age, that's something I'm, sorry to say, looking at.
Yeah.
It happens to the best of us. There's no way around it.
We can talk whenever you're ready.
So in that case, maybe we will. So I've got some IRAs. My wife and I each have one.
Oh, yeah, beautiful.
and they're making kind of money. What can we do about it? What can New York Life do about that?
What can New York Life do? Well, it depends on your age, really, what you want to go ahead and get set up. We deal with kind of people at all ages, but for you, for retirement, is that what you're looking at more than anything?
Sure.
Well, we could talk about life insurance. We could kind of see exactly where you're at, how you would go ahead and get rated, save up that way. Or there are ways that we could take larger chunks of money and then put it into something called a PDA, a premium deposit account.
Oh.
And that's a beautiful thing because that grows really, really fast.
Much faster than the IRA, I'll bet.
But one of my favorite things is asset protection more than anything. If you're worried about things like long-term care or the death benefit that's going to go to the kids as well,
right.
There's some beautiful things there too.
Wow.
Just depends on what you're interested in.
Yeah. Retirement's coming up at a pretty quick pace for me. And my wife is awfully as well. Our home is nearly paid for.
Oh, beautiful. That's a great thing.
We have no kids.
That's the dream. Okay.
No pets.
Okay.
No outstanding debt.
Okay.
No student loans.
Sure.
But we would like to just sit back and relax for the next 20 or 30 years.
Absolutely.
And so how could New York Life help with that?
We do have a guaranteed lifetime income. If you were to put some of the money that you save in, a guaranteed payment every month, all the way till the end. That way you make sure that you don't run out of money, and then that way you can kind of plan everything around it. So that way you're not just watching your bank account dwindle, because every single year you're losing 3% to inflation.
Absolutely.
So it should go into something that can keep growing for you.
Absolutely. Now, does a reverse mortgage anything to do with New York Life? Can they?
No, we don't normally do with anything in the mortgage, not in the property kind of business.
So I'm just, you're showing, I don't know anything about it, so I'm asking.
Absolutely.
As an unknown.
Ask away.
Yes. So let's see what else. Now, do you have many offices, or is this simply an online?
We have a lot of offices. We're the number one mutual company in the United States, and we've been around since 1845.
That's a long time.
So that's roughly 173 years or so. So we have offices all over the country. We have one we have a couple in the Seattle area overall. So if you did want to stop by, we could definitely help you out.
Excellent, excellent. Let's see what else I can ask you about out there. Well, let me ask you about you. How long have you been with the company?
I've been my first year with the company, so I'm fairly new to it. But I've been, watching money forever. So just like we all have been. Yes, but I was a small business owner before all this, and I just wish I would have known how all this stuff worked when I first started, putting money away.
Yes. If I'd known then what I know now.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. So what's some of your advice to people that are newlyweds coming in today?
My biggest one, since they're younger, I absolutely would recommend. I know that everyone's focused on spending money on the wedding, but term insurance is a beautiful thing. It's a great thing because a lot of these people are also buying homes as well. And since they're buying homes, if one passes away, unfortunately, then what would happen is that usually the other one might lose the house. Usually it's a two-income kind of home that you could keep it.
These days, you're right, of course.
Plus, pretty soon they're going to start having children, and usually, they want to make sure that there's a good, beautiful, family plan in case something happens to the other. That way, their kids are taken care of, their wife or husband is taken care of, because that's kind of the foundation of what we do. We build on protection first, and then we kind of move on to the retirement and everything as they go. So it's a company that you keep around forever.
Sure. And as someone that is nearing retirement, you'll agree, give out the advice, start saving now.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. We have a lot of policies for that. Whole life is one of my favorite as well, but we have plans that you could help pensions, anything along those lines, so we have kind of things for everyone at all ages. But as a young person, yes, starting to save for retirement, fantastic. Protecting the family, absolutely necessary.
Yeah, and it's just so much smarter to start younger. If I'd have done now, I was just going to ask, is this something that can be, when you start to make payments, you join up with our, is this something that can be taken out of your paycheck? Is this something you have to write a check?
Oh, yes. You can have it automatically thrown from your paycheck. You can do like an annual payment. There's several different ways that you can do it. Yeah.
Outstanding. So, final word, what would you like to put out there about New York Life?
Well, what I'd like to put out there, it's a fantastic company. We're number one all across the board, best ratings across the board. And the thing is, to meet with us and just sit down and talk is absolutely free. So we could just show you what we do, get a little bit of information about you, and there's no commitment until you absolutely fall in love with something.
Brandon, thank you so very much.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate that.
Did we get your website and your contact information?
I have my card here,
Okay.
so they can look at it directly, but if they want to email me,
Yeah, there you go.
B Boeke, that's B as in boy,
B and
another
Boeke?
B as in boy, OEKE at ft.newyorklife.com.
Okay, well, you know, it's a pleasure to have you on the show. We like to Brad Buckles likes to feature all the vendors that are here on the
Very
show.
nice of him.
It's part of a courtesy to you. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
It's a pleasure. This is Johnny the Copper. We're live at the Xfinity Arena here in lovely Everett. Isn't that nice? I got my producer John Burton with me, my Viva production crew here in the booth. We have wedding photography, wedding DJ, even limousine service, if you can believe it. I have a very young, lovely young lady in my booth right now. She goes by the name of Sarah Lee. You might have heard Bob Seger sing about her. Isn't that Sarah Lee getting down tonight? Is that how it goes?
I don't know.
Oh, and ladies and gentlemen, this is Sarah Lee. And Sarah, say hi and tell everybody about your wonderful company.
Hello, thank you for having me on the show. My
Pleasure.
name is
Pleasure, Sarah Lee.
Thank you. My name is Sarah Lee, and I represent Young Living Essential Oils. Essential oils are the naturally occurring plant oil that all plants contain, and we use them topically and aromatically, and also internally to help support wellness in our body.
Too?
Internally too.
Really, like you take it, you swallow it?
Right in the mouth.
Ay. Go ahead, I'm listening.
We're here at the Wedding Expo because there are live human beings here, and we believe that every live human being needs essential oils, Young Living essential oils. So whether you're a bride and feeling stressed out, or you're a bridesmaid and feeling stressed out from the bride, everybody needs oils. We want to help support our immune system so that we can have a great wedding day, and we all know that stress tends to run our body down. So by using Young Living essential oils and products in a proactive way, we can help support wellness and get to our wedding day on time.
Well, you know, you hit the nail right on the head. Stress is a big factor as far as preserving your wellness. And if your product helps with that, I'm all for it.
This weekend, it's going to be your day to get started with
Tomorrow,
Young Living essential oils.
Yeah.
That's right.
I'm coming over to get ordained.
I'm going to oil you up.
You're going to splash me up?
No, I'm going to oil you up, and I'm going to help support your wellness.
No splashing with the oil?
Oh, splash, sure. I'll splash you up.
She's going to splash me up there, pal. Yeah, well, you know, you do have a lot of, you have an interesting booth, and all the little bottles of stuff that you got there with all the different things that go with that is fascinating and intriguing. I mean, you know, I can see the gals when they come by your booth, they just stop, look, and stare, and they want to know everything about it.
Mm-hmm. We really love putting oils on people so that they can feel the results themselves. It makes our job easier because we could stand and talk about Young Living all day, but if we can help someone experience Young Living, then they're in. And our goal is really to get Young Living essential oils in every household. So this is a great way to do it.
Very cool. I like it. And you have your partner over there helping you, too. Has she been with you a long time?
Yes, Laura Lynn Hilliard. She has been with me for a couple of years. She is a booth expert. She loves engaging with people and helping people find wellness as well.
Yeah, she's got a great smile on her face, as you do. You both have great faces. I think I said that last week, didn't I?
Yes, thank you so much.
Anything more you can tell us about your stuff?
I have a downtown Snohomish studio, if you're ever in downtown Snohomish. I've got a studio that's basically a dedicated classroom. My passion really is to help educate about how to use the Young Living oils and products.
Holy mackerel.
And so I like to help people get started with their own wholesale account under me, and then I basically become their personal consultant and help them learn what oils to use and how to use them. So you can find me on Facebook at Oil Club Snohomish, and you can like my page there and also subscribe to follow the events. I host classes usually once a week, so they're free classes. You can come and learn how to use our oils and products, and I'd love to help you get started.
And your business, it sounds to me like it's a full-time career for you.
Yes, it absolutely is. If you'd like to reach me, you can call me. My number is 206-999-9629.
Well, not only that, you can come today to Everett, to the Xfinity Arena, talk to Sarah Lee and her wonderful partner. She's going to be at the Bellevue show September 25th. She's all over the place. She's going to do all the expos in January.
Yep.
Sarah Lee, thank you for being on Viva ENT.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to Viva ENT. I'm here with the lovely, lovely, gorgeous young lady. Her name is Nicole, and she is with the company called Celebrate Your Sexy. Nicole, say hi to our listeners.
Hi, everyone.
So now, this is like the first time I've seen your booth at the Wedding Expo.
Yeah, so I'm a spokesmodel for Celebrate Your Sexy. I was actually chosen last minute to represent their company.
Cool.
They've been around for 27 years. They photograph in all of 50 states in the major cities.
Wow.
All the photographers are females.
Oh,
so,
my gosh.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
No, all the photographers are females. There's 6 of them, and they travel to you. So you don't have to just be in the state of Washington.
Well, so I see that you have boudoir photography.
Yeah, boudoir, yes.
Okay, wow.
A lot of females aren't comfortable doing boudoir, but this is an awesome gift for your groom. This is an awesome gift for your husband. This is an awesome gift for just yourself to do.
Sure.
Yeah. So I guess the best thing I can say is it makes you feel very attractive and sexy, these photographers do. They work very hard on accomplishing what you want them to. If you're looking for a great gift, you should come out, sign up. There's a free drawing, so somebody has to win. Even if you don't sign yourself up, you can sign somebody else up. Somebody has to win, and you can give it away to somebody.
Well, you know, so you're telling me that you have a team of photographers that represent your company, and they travel and they'll go to wherever they...
Right.
Wow.
Whatever major cities, and part of the booking fee goes to a hotel, so there's no running around crazy trying to figure out a shoot location. So that's one major plus.
Cool,
Privacy
yeah.
of a hotel room. Yes.
Wow, nice. Yeah, well, that's a great package. I think it's unique, and I haven't seen it in the show before. I think you're going to do well.
Thank you. I hope so. I hope to accomplish a lot of things for this business. I hope they get a lot of contacts.
I think you will. You know, we're going to be here today. You can see Nicole here today, ladies and gentlemen, at the Xfinity Arena. We're going to be here till 4 p.m. today, and tomorrow till 4 p.m. starting at 11 a.m. tomorrow.
That's correct.
Give
Hope
your
to see you guys
website,
there.
your Facebook, and all your contact information there.
Okay, so go to celebrateyoursexy.com if you have any other questions. Just go to the website or stop by and pick up a flyer, and phone numbers and contact information is all on there. Hope to see you guys here.
And I'm sure they will. Please come and see Nicole. Just to come and see her is worth it, trust me. Thank you, Nicole.
Thank you so much.
Bye-bye. Guess what? I got Gabriella Ramirez in my booth today, and she is with Dinner for Two. We're live at the Xfinity Arena. Gabriella, say hi to our listeners.
Hi, everybody. How's everybody doing?
Wow, I'm doing great, and I think everybody would be doing really good if they came here to the Xfinity today. What do you think?
Yeah, I think that would be great.
You know, I've been working with you a long time at these wedding expos, and as a matter of fact, your booth is always pretty much close to my booth because I demand that Brad put you right by me. No, I'm just kidding. Maybe not. But anyway, Gabriella, tell our listeners about Dinner for Two.
So you guys can stop by my booth and come and check out all the amazing products that we have. So we've been in business since 1959, and we feature waterless and oilless cooking, which is much healthier for us. All of our products do have an amazing 50-year warranty. If you guys stop by our booth, you guys can sign up and win a trip to Costa Rica.
You can win a free trip to Costa Rica if they come in and just sign up?
Yes.
Great. And you're going to be here all day today. And you're going to be here till 4 o'clock tomorrow.
That's correct.
So now, the advantage of using those pens, One thing that I like about them is they're guaranteed for life, aren't they?
They have a 50-year warranty.
50 well, that's life.
Yes, pretty much.
I'd say it's life. Yeah, that's pretty cool. And so there's an actual benefit to cooking in those pans?
Yes, there is. So, for example, if you don't have to use any water, then you don't have to worry about losing all your nutrients in the water when you're steaming your vegetables.
Yeah. Oh, so that happens?
Yes, it does.
So in other words, if you steam your vegetables in water, it loses some of the wonderful content?
Yes, like have you ever seen where your water is very colorful when it came in clear? I mean, you might as well just drink the water and dump your veggies, and they're going to be just flavorless anyways.
Looks kind of mucky, you know what I mean?
Right.
When you use a steamer, and you got all that stuff on the bottom.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you're steaming tamales and stuff and things like that.
I suppose.
Yeah, because I steam tamales all the time.
Yeah, those are pretty good.
Oh, yeah. So basically, there's a benefit health-wise to using these pans. And all they got to do is come by the Xfinity Arena, stop by your booth. You're going to sign them up for an opportunity to win a trip to Costa Rica.
That's correct.
Is that right?
Yes, it is. And then they have an opportunity to see some of our products because we have many more.
Oh, cool. So tell our listeners your website. If there's a Facebook, all the contact information to get a hold of Dinner for Two.
Okay, so you guys can go to dinnerfor2.com. And if you guys choose, you can also go to Kitchen Charm. That's who is sponsoring our trip. So you can go to kitchencharm.com, and you can see all of our website and read a lot more about our products.
Gabriella Ramirez, what a pleasure to have you on my show today. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.
This is your host, Johnny the Capo. I'm live. Thank God I'm alive. I'm live here at the Xfinity Arena, and we're going to be here all day till 4 o'clock. Come visit my crew. I got Leo and Donna, my star photographers, in the booth. Marquise Milano, my star DJ. This is Johnny the Capo. I'll be here. We're going to be here all day tomorrow from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. Now, just to tell you a little bit about my company, it's Viva Productions. We have wedding photography, wedding DJ, and we do about 200 weddings a year with DJ every year. We're reasonably priced, meaning that we're sensibly priced. If you guys, people that are looking for a DJ, if they want to pay $2,500 for a DJ, you're welcome to. However, we provide pretty much the same exact service that any DJ does, except for maybe showing up in a tutu, at a very reasonable price. Our ceremony and reception package is $845. Our reception package is $695. Includes dance lights, cordless microphone for announcements, lapel microphone for the ceremony. Photography packages are $200 an hour with the 3-hour minimum, and you own all the images on digital files. So one of the reasons that we've been successful for over 16 years is because I like to take care of my clients. I don't like to hammer them for every dollar they ever made in their life, and we take care of them, and we do volume, and that's how we make our money, and do our thing. So come visit our booth, come see us. We had a great interview this last week on my show Viva ENT with the legendary Dean Martin's daughter, Deana. Deana is an accomplished performer on her own. She's a great singer. She's got the chops, and she's had the fortune and the privileges to enjoy recording in one of the most famous recording studios in history at Capitol Records, Studio B. I'm pretty sure that's Studio B. I hope I'm not thinking of Studio B in Nashville, where Presley did all his recordings, and all those wonderful recordings came out of Nashville. So anyway, we're gonna feature on the last half of this show today our interview with Deana Martin, and Nina Khan was my co-host, and my producer Eric C.C. Ryder and my producer John Burton are putting this all together for you so you can hear it today on KLAY our station that we are featured on in Tacoma. So, please come to the Xfinity Arena. If you can't make it out this far, ladies and gentlemen, come see us next Sunday at the Bellevue Wedding Expo, September 25th at 10 a.m. in the morning. 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. I want to tell everybody, everybody knows that we promote the golden era of rock and roll on our show every single week. We have celebrities on our show from the rock era, especially the late 50s and 60s and 70s, and it's so fun to do that because I love rock and roll trivia. It's one of the first things I got into when I was a young man, or a young boy, I should say. I also want to let everybody know that I will be the trivia host at the Ram in Issaquah starting September 21st, 9 p.m. I will be there with the full trivia program, along with Lou Jam Entertainment. So, Johnny the Capo, Issaquah Ram, this Wednesday. I will be at the B&E show this Wednesday, Washington State Convention Center, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Come visit our booth. You'll see more of the corporate side of our entertainment company, the casino games. We have craps, blackjack, poker, roulette. I have big DJ packages with big lighting shows, photography booths, uplighting. I'm a one-stop shop, ladies and gentlemen. That's why I'm the king of entertainment in Seattle, Johnny the Capo. Yes, I have proclaimed myself king. So anyway, Deana Martin, you're gonna dig. You know, Elvis Presley had an album that came out last November. Elvis with the Philharmonic Orchestra went triple platinum and #1 in many countries around the world. They have a new album coming out in October. The album previously was titled If I Can Dream. This album is called The Wonder of You. And as soon as it hits the airways, I'm going to start playing some parts on my show, Viva ENT, which you can hear on 2 radio stations, KKNW, 1150 AM, and KLAY, 1180 AM. 1180 AM, and you can stream. If it's out of your range, stream it. Go to the audio archive, 1150 KKNW. You'll hear all my shows. So, and YouTube. I'm on YouTube, for goodness sakes, thanks to John Burton. Am I right, Johnny boy? Oh, yeah. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for listening. Don't go away. I'm not signing off. Deana Martin, Jerry Osborne, Nina Khan, and myself, Johnny the Capo, bring you celebrity guest at their best, Deana Martin, ladies and gentlemen. Dean Martin's daughter. Thank you so much.
Just can't lose, not a single soul's denied. Well, you should do it, you would dig it, 'cause you get good news. Every trip is true and fine. Meet me on Swing Street, 52nd and Broadway, and we'll linger all night long, Melrose Land.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to Viva ENT. This is Johnny the Capo. I'm here with my co-host, Nina Khan, my producer, Mr. Eric C.C. Ryder, talent coordinator, Jerry Osborne. Such an honor and pleasure to have Deana Martin on our show today. I'm so excited, I can't even see straight.
What an effect you have on him, Deana.
Well,
I do that sometimes.
you know, the fact of the matter is that song was so dynamic. Deana, you definitely have the chops going there for sure.
Oh, well, I inherited Dean Martin's voice and his name.
Like father, like daughter, right?
There you go. That is right. And it sounded so good. It's the first time I've heard it, on the radio. So that's I heard it over the phone, but that's the first time because it just came out.
World premiere.
You also got the looks,
great.
too.
Well, I think we get about 10,000 listeners on a Thursday afternoon, and this show is going to be played tomorrow again at 4 p.m. here on KKNW, and the show is also going to be played Saturday down in Tacoma. So you're going to get a lot of coverage. So in other words, Yeah, I'm sure our listeners just love it to death.
Not to mention that it will be archived there forever on the website.
That's correct.
Yes.
Forever and a
That
day.
is so super. It was so much fun to do this album. I tell you, we were so lucky. Well, now I have to tell you, we recorded this at Capitol Records, Capitol Studios in Studio A.
The legendary.
Yes, that's where my dad recorded. And in fact, that's where I went with my mom when I was a very, very little girl to Studio A at Capitol Records. And I remember walking down the hallway with all the photographs on the walls of, Peggy Lee and, Dean Martin and Frank Sinatra, Nat King Cole, Bobby Darin. And we went into Studio A, and I sat there on a cold little metal chair with my mom, and I watched my dad record his very first #1 hit record, Memories Are Made of This.
Wow.
And so that's where I recorded this new Swing Street album, and it was so exciting.
Oh, my gosh.
Your dad's so proud of you.
Oh, thank you for saying that.
I bet.
I think so. I think that he would just love this and the song selection, but also that we have such great arrangers and, the arrangers, producers, the songwriters. So I thank you for saying that. That means quite a lot to me.
Well,
we second that.
I should add to that, you have the looks, too.
Oh, well, thank you. They say you should always pick the right parents.
Absolutely, 100%.
Deana, I need to nudge you in one direction here before we get away from the Capitol studio. My hat is off to you, and it's because unlike 99.9% of the music being recorded in recent years, you had every musician in the studio recording it live with you, just like Dean and Frank in the good old days, right?
Yes, and it was such a fun experience for me. Now, when you hear, when you get the album and you hear Bellissima, it's so fun because the band, the whole orchestra, when I say, pianissimo, and they all yell pianissimo, and they're all, they're not all the best singers, but they're the best musicians. And so to hear them, I kind of giggle when I'm singing the song, too, to be around all of these fantastic musicians and ask them to sing backup for me. It was just great. But, it's all about the arrangement. It's about being in that incredible studio with Patrick Williams and, Al Schmidt mixing the whole thing, and then Chris Walden. But these musicians, and a lot of them worked with my dad, to be there in that room with them, it was just, beyond belief. In fact, I spoke to Michael Bublé called while I was recording, and he had just come to L.A. for, I don't know what it was he was doing. He said he was just changing planes, and he gave me a call, and he told me, he said, I can see where you are. He said, I was just there last month recording my new album. And, and he did the same thing, put the microphone in the middle of the studio and just sang.
Cool.
Wow.
The thing is, that music, that style of music, it had so much dynamic. When you got the great vocals going, and boom, you got the orchestra coming in with the horns and the complete arrangement. It's like magic.
It is like magic, and to hear that and to watch the guys. And as I have a sizzle reel that will be coming out because we recorded it, they videoed the whole experience there, and to see these musicians, but to hear the interviews from these fabulous guys. And Patrick Williams said, "I have assembled the greatest musicians in the world." He says they're all here. He said, "I really hardly have to do anything." He says they sit there, they talk with each other in between, saying, "Are you going to play this? Is that a B flat or is that a concert C?" He said, and they figure it out. And then he says, "All I do is count it off, and then they take off." And it's true. They're just professional, fun, exceptional musicians. So that's the way it should. That's the way it should be.
And those guys got the ear too. They got the ear. They know how to get to to those arrangements and the magic.
So I have a question, Deana. How was it to have Dean Martin as your father.
He was so amazing. What you saw when you saw Dean Martin on his TV show, you know, tall, dark, handsome, cool, funny,
Very handsome,
sweet, kind. That's who he was.
Right.
And he was just he was a hugger.
Aww.
You know, he loved to. He would come in, he'd hug everybody. That's the way we grew up. But he was, you know, to me when I think about it, he was so funny.
Really?
And you know that he could make humor out of, and it didn't even have to be funny. It was just the way he would say it. You know, just
awesome.
That's who he was. But he was kind. He was, as I say, he was fun. And you know, being at the dinner table at the, well, I was going to say on Mountain Drive, but with the Martins, you know, 7 kids, you know, mom, dad, and our grandmother lived with us for years. It was so funny because he would, you know, maybe he would pick up the salt and pepper shaker and put them up like they were binoculars and keep going, they're coming around the track. They're coming around the track. You know, the salt and pepper's falling out of the...
That's the best kind of dad you can ask for.
Yeah. Yeah.
Awesome.
So he was fun.
How much influence did he have on your singing career?
Well, it's funny you should ask that because he influenced me quite a lot because he was just so amazing, and I loved his voice.
Of course.
But when I went to him and I said, you know, Dad, I'd like to take, you know, singing lessons, voice lessons. He said, why? Do you want to sound like everybody else in the choir?
Oh my God! Okay.
And I went. And I was kind of like that, you know. He says, you know, get your own voice, Deana. He said, you know, first find your voice, find out who you are before you do that, because you want to have your own sound.
Right.
He said it's important for people to know who you are, otherwise you're going to sound like everybody else. And he did tell me, he said, you should be able to identify who the singer is, like within the first few seconds of a song.
Makes a lot of sense to me.
Yeah.
Wow.
And but then... And I'm thinking that my dad did that because he obviously didn't realize or know that not everybody knows how to sing. Okay,
absolutely.
I think it's because he had that beautiful natural voice.
Yes,
that he would. It was just. It was magical, and it was. He knows God given. But you know, for us who didn't realize that we had that, we wanted to learn how to do it. I remember asking Frank Sinatra. I said, Uncle Frank, I said, as we were going to do, we were doing a show together, and we were going to sing, and I'm standing there, and I said, so Uncle Frank, how do you do it? How do you get that great tone? How do you sing? And of course, then he goes, well, Deana, it's all about the air. You know, you're taking a big breath, and you push from the diaphragm, and I can tell even before a note comes out if I'm going to be on pitch or not. Wow. You know, I look at him, because, I mean, he gave me an answer, and I said, wow, does my dad do that? He says, no, your father has no idea what he's doing. He just does it. You know, and it's true. You know, when I listened to Uncle Frank, he worked for every note he hit.
Yes.
You know, I mean, he really did. He was unbelievable, and he taught me about phrasing, and you know, and timing, and learning the song, and living with it, and maybe not doing it the same way every time.
Right.
You know, and that's what I learned from Uncle Frank.
And
you know, my dad could pick up a song and sing it, and it would just be gorgeous.
Effortlessly.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. You know, Frank, you know, was exactly the way you described, and Dean had this wonderful tone to his voice. It was almost like listening to. The best way I can describe it is listening like to an angel singing. Yeah. I mean, it was so smooth. It was so, and I know Jerry is a big. I know that Dean's Jerry's favorite singer of all time. But and you know, mine too. I got to tell you a quick story, Deana.
Okay.
My dad passed a couple of years ago, and one of the very last things that I did with him is I went in and we watched the Dean Martin roast, and we must have did it for like 3 days because I knew that he loved him, and I knew that I loved him.
Who doesn't?
But when I was looking at my dad's face during those shows, I could see the level of happiness. Mm-hmm. Those shows were so great and so entertaining that I wasn't. I was a little younger, of course, at that time, but I fell in love with what they were doing on that show. I loved all the entertainers on that show. Nipsey Russell. There was all those great.
Jonathan Winters.
Jonathan, Dom DeLuise.
Jesse White was on there.
Yeah.
All those great guys.
Foster Brooks.
Ronald Reagan was on there. Everybody, Frank, everybody
Foster was never sober.
What's the point of being sober?
Bob Newhart.
Great.
Yeah. And when I think that it was so much fun to do that show. Although everybody, all of the singers, everybody who was doing all the skits and the guest stars and all the dancers, everybody, we were there all week rehearsing. And Dad was not there.
Right.
He was on the golf course.
I heard.
But so we would, and Lee Hale, who was the music director, and he was the one who was amazing, he would wear a sign on his chest that said Dean. So he would stand in for my dad. And he knew how Dad would sing, and he would pick the songs that would be great. And so it would be Lee Hale who would do our numbers with us, pretending he was Dad.
Fun.
And it could have been, maybe it was Juliet Prowse. He was dancing with, but my dad did not rehearse. He would come in on Sunday afternoon at 1 o'clock after he played, 8 holes or whatever, a round of golf. And he would come in. He would read his cue cards. They would go through the songs with Les Brown and the Band of Renown. Then he would go out and do the show.
Such talent, huh?
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yeah,
I don't think anybody else could ever have pulled that off.
No one could have. And, it's amazing that Dean had such success with that TV show, because where others, like, I don't want to mention any names, but there was other entertainers of that time, of his generation and of his time, great entertainers that could not match that success on TV like he did.
You're right, and I think it had a lot to do, of course, with his sense of humor. He was comfortable. People would love for him to come into their house every Thursday night at 10 o'clock because it felt like Uncle Dean is here. It's my crazy uncle. And then there were the beautiful the dancers, the Gold Diggers, and the the Dingaling sisters, and all of the people who would come on and sing. And for me, I remember when I would do the show, and the first time I did the show, I had my first record out, and it was I'm trying to think, it was I think it was called The Bottom of My Mind or something, and I remember him making me feel so comfortable because I had recorded it on Reprise when he was with Reprise on Uncle Frank's Reprise album, and I recorded it, and I was of course nervous, and I came out and I sang a duet with Dad, and he introduced me to the audience. He said, "Yeah, this is my daughter." And he said, "So Deana, you're not afraid or anything, are you?" I said, "Well, I'm petrified." And he said, "Well, don't be." And he turned to the camera and he said, "Okay, ladies and gentlemen out there, don't pay any attention. I don't want you to make my baby girl Deana nervous or anything." And then I was able to sing my first song on his TV show. And I know that I would be out there singing, Swing Street with him and these great songs that are on the album. And when he could sing with anybody, and I know he loved Ella Fitzgerald to be on his show, or the Mills Brothers, or I'm thinking Jack Jones, or Catalina Valente. All of the people, or Goldie Hawn, that one time was too funny when their skit. But all the people that he would sing with, it was amazing. He made everybody feel comfortable.
Yeah.
And so it's these songs that I'm singing on this album that people love. And, of course, he had, the Band of Renown with, Les Brown. So we're continuing on with this tradition of excellence with musicians and musicianship. So that's what we're we're keeping it alive.
And the piano player was Ken Lane, is that right?
Yeah, and Ken, and he would call him Kermit sometimes. And Ken Lane is he's the gentleman who wrote "Everybody Loves Somebody," and that's the song, right? Jerry, that.
Oh my God, Ken Lane wrote "Everybody Loves Somebody."
Ken Lane wrote that, and it knocked the Beatles out of first place.
1964. That's incredible.
Yeah.
Incredible.
So that was Ken Lane, and he was such a good guy, and he was just fabulous. He would travel around with Dad.
So nice.
Deana, with all the talking about family, I don't want this half hour to go by without telling you how sorry we are about your loss of not only Ricky but Mama Jeannie too.
Yes, it's still a shock to all of us. But I have to say, we had the best services for both of them. And for my mom now, because she knew she was sick and she had arranged everything, which is, I have to say this, and you'd have to know the Martins to understand this. She had arranged, and she's buried out there now at Pierce Brothers, near where Dad is. Pierce Brothers in Westwood in L.A. And my mom arranged everything, and she wanted the funny priest and valet parking. So these were her. This is what she wanted for everyone. She said, "I want everyone to celebrate." And so what we did was, for her service, we celebrated a life well lived.
Cool.
And it was just family. It was so wonderful. And I tell you, the priest, what was so great, he knew my mom. So he was able to tell stories that were funny. Because I remember her, when my dad passed, I remember her saying to when Jerry Lewis stood up and he was going to say some words about Dad, and he pulled out a paper, and Mother said, "Oh, Jerry, please, don't make it long and make it funny." And he said, "Jeannie," he said, "I can't make it long," or he said, "I can't make it short, and I can't make it funny." He says, "This is too important right now." But my mother remembered that, and she said, "I want everybody to just celebrate and have a great time at my service." And that's what we did. It was, of course, the priest was he was wonderful, and he sent us away with fabulous warm feelings. But it was a celebration of her life, and so that was very nice. And then we had the one for my darling brother Ricky, and they had a trio, and we had a service for him, and it was again a celebration of his beautiful life, with lots of photos all around, and his daughters, and family. So it was, and he had a great life, So all of us, and we don't know how long we're on this earth for, and so we celebrate the time that we had with them.
And we count our blessings.
Yes, we do, and I've had so many.
You are a very lucky woman, and it's a pleasure to have listened and talked to you today.
Oh, thank you so much. Well, wait till you hear this fabulous new album. It's going to be on your favorite. I don't know if you have an iPhone or
iPhone. It is. Who doesn't have an iPhone these days?
On iTunes or
everything.
Whatever. Yeah. No, it's great. And how amazing it is now to be able to just take around your iPhone or your little player, and you can sit on a plane. You can sit anywhere, and you hear this great, and you can get anybody right there, and it's amazing to be able to have all that music, and technology. Today is amazing.
It's fabulous. We're down to 3 minutes, Deana. Anything you want to say during that time?
Well, next year, 2017, will be my dad's centennial. All right, so we'll be celebrating his 100th birthday.
Wow.
We are putting out. We are right now in the middle of recording a documentary. We're doing a documentary for him. We've interviewed, Florence Henderson and Bob Newhart, and so many people. It's going to be a great documentary about an unbelievable talent, is Deana Martin.
Absolutely.
Last year I did so many shows for Uncle Frank Sinatra for his centennial.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll be doing that this year, and we're making my book into a movie.
Yes,
and I'm
what about
celebrating this. Well, I know, and it's going to be. I'm taking my time with that. I want this documentary to be fantastic, but I want the movie to be absolutely perfect and respectful and wonderful. So take our time.
Let's get you back on the show when you're ready to launch that, too.
Oh, yeah. But right now I'm just excited about Swing Street, the album, and being able to come on your show and do that and talk about all these great memories is an honor for me also.
I was telling my co-host and my producer earlier about the story that you told last time you were on our show when you met Elvis.
Oh my gosh! Yes.
Can you say it?
At Paramount? Yes, I went to visit my dad at Paramount, and this is when they had their dressing rooms, and it was right out. You'd walk out the door. It wasn't a hallway. It was right out of the parking lot.
All right.
So I was standing outside my dad's dressing room and with my sisters, and I see this man driving up on a bicycle, and I'm thinking, and as he gets closer, I realize it's not a man, it's Elvis Presley.
Wow.
It was like, oh my gosh. So he got off and he talked to Dad, and he said, "Are these your daughters?" And Dad said, "Yes." And he introduced us, and Elvis got down on one knee, and he took my little hand in his. He had a big hand, and he looked at me, and he said, "I love your dad."
Wow.
He said, "And they call me the king of rock and roll."
Oh.
And he looked me in the eye, and he said, "But your dad is the king of cool."
Wow.
And I wanted to die. I mean, I didn't want to wash my hand. I just wanted to die. I mean, it was...
That's the best moment.
Was Elvis Presley.
I'm out of time, Deana. Tell our listeners about your website, your Facebook, everything real quick.
Love you, Deana.
Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, come on to DeanaMartin.com, and you'll see where I am, and come see one of my shows and get the album.
I will do that.
Jerry, who's on the show next week?
The return of Jean-Marc Gargiulo, because he didn't get a chance to tell everyone about his meetings with Elvis.
Very good. Ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to Viva ENT. Our guest has been Deana Martin. We'll dig in now and see you later, because you're a fine sweet potato. Thank you, Nina. Thank you, Eric. Thank you, Jerry. Love you, Deana.
52nd and Broadway, and we'll linger all night long at Roseland, where the big band wails and the brass sure can